Did? Oh, okay, cool. All right.
It's cool.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to our second episode today. Yes, that's right. We're at episode number 101. We just celebrated our 100th episode earlier this afternoon. So we are at 101 and counting.
Yep.
This evening, we are with Mr. Stonewall Remson.
Doing?
Again, I've got the host, the wrestling encyclopedia, the man that knows the most about professional wrestling inside and out. There is not a question you can ask that can stump him. He is the wrestling guru, and trust me, I can back that up. We call him the wrestling encyclopedia for a reason. So, with that being said, welcome to the show. And Stonewall, why don't you let us know how long you've been in the business, a little bit about you, and whatever else you want to share.
Hey, everybody. My name is Stonewall Remson. Been in about 2 years now. I started training in 2020. I had my first match, 2021, and originally trained at a Metroplex Wrestling that's in Fort Worth, Texas. Then in 2022, last year, I had the opportunity to go train with Dustin Rhodes at the Rhodes Academy. Graduated class 6 from August, November, and I pretty much been touring just Arkansas, a little part of Tennessee, and throughout Texas.
Very cool. So who were some of your wrestling heroes growing up?
Funny thing about me, I had a very late start for wrestling. I didn't start what I'll be 37 September. I didn't start watching wrestling until '99, and I pretty much The Rock was who caught my attention the most to keep watching. Then I became a fan, and then after that, growing up, after I started liking people, I know he's not to be mentioned, but people like Christopher Wall, Kurt Angle, Eddie Guerrero. I actually was a fan of Shane Douglas, the way he worked. I like people who like to work. Chris Jericho, old Chris Jericho, Kurt Angle. Who else? Kurt Angle was awesome. And then, of course, I like the big guys like Brock Lesnar, Undertaker. So I don't really have heroes. I have people I look at for different things. So only person I can say literally was a hero is pretty much would be The Rock and Triple H, because Stone Cold was hurt at the time when I first started getting into it. He didn't come until after he came back. So I was more Rock and Triple H than the top two.
Very good choices. And don't worry about the Chris Benoit thing. Our opinion on him on the podcast is yes, what he did was horrible, but you can't discredit what he did in the wrestling business. So
yeah, that's all I talk about is the wrestling spot side. Yeah.
Yep. So let's get into the nuts and bolts of this, because he brought up some very interesting things in his opening. What was it like at the Nightmare Factory or the Dustin Rhodes one?
Yeah. Rhodes Wrestling Academy. Yeah. Very, very good and welcoming. He's extremely knowledgeable. You do everything his way. For people like me and some other guys who actually had a little training before then, it's kind of hard trying to get retaught something, but there's reasons for it. He taught us to work for TV. A lot of guys, including myself, get taught how to work the indie scene. It's a whole different thing from working TV and working indies. But extremely knowledgeable. I felt like I learned how to do moves, but I never knew how to actually put a match together or how to work. Going through his stuff for 3 months, I actually learned how to work. The psychology part of it.
That would be amazing to learn, especially from somebody like, from Dustin with, so.
Amazing time.
Yeah.
Who are some of your biggest rivals?
Rivals?
Yeah.
I don't think I have any. I have people I'm trying to keep up with, so I guess, yeah. A guy named Brick Savage, and Kane Carter, and Jace OC. Those are about my top 3 that are really, really good that I will try to keep up with, that's doing well in the industry around here.
Very
nice. So my question is a 2-part question. What is your pre-match and post-match routine?
It kind of depends on where I'm at and what I'm doing. Honestly, now my pre-match is to try to get there early enough so I can have the time to calm down and be all right. And let's go through different matches in my head. I like to watch different matches if I know who I'm going against and to get an idea of how I want to start stuff off, or I'll talk to them if I know who I'm going against. We'll talk and try to figure out how we do things. I'm a very organized planner type person. Then after that, I just relax, joke around, and chill. After matches, try to get changed as quickly possible and calm down because my adrenaline's high. But that's about it. I don't have anything really special yet. Kind of boring.
Nate,
So, how'd your finisher come to be?
I found out I was really good at giving a clothesline, really, really good, and it looks really painful. So, I used to do a running power slam, which is I still do every now and then. Then I came to the world's strongest slam, but the whole time I have a clothesline, a lariat, kind of like clothesline from hell, and that sticks out more. So I decided that's just going to be what I end people with if I don't end it with a slam or some type of submission.
Very nice.
I believe in simplicity sometimes. Not try to do too much.
And that's a lost art nowadays too. Like everybody thinks they have to have like the flashy, like you know what I mean, like finisher. You know what I mean?
Well,
That's gonna pop. But a good clothesline, like you said, can really like make people go, "Wow, that was good."
you do it well. You do it well. I just made it pop tonight. Not that long ago, my match finished about 20 minutes before we got on, and ended it with that, and people went crazy.
Nice.
It's just the way you set it up, call for, just you can do a lot with a little if you just take your time playing it.
exactly.
Yep.
So, in your opinion, who's the better wrestler turned actor?
Batista. Even though I'm a huge Rock fan, it's Batista. John Cena is really good at comedy, so I give John Cena the comedy act. I hate to say, but The Rock is good at playing himself. So he don't even try anymore. like, just, like I don't know if you watch Black Adam, and I'm a huge comic nerd. Like he didn't even try to have an accent or anything. He just The Rock.
Yeah.
No, and sadly, that's been the consistency we've been having with that question: is The Rock just plays The Rock? So
At one point, he was trying to act, and I don't know what happened. He did Gridiron Games like early 2005 and other stuff like that. And he was stretching himself out. And sometimes the kid movies, he was acting. And then all of a sudden, G.I. Joe, Fast and Furious. Pain and Games, the last time I saw him actually act.
Yeah.
all right, Nate.
Top 5 indie female wrestlers.
First person is my indie crush. I don't know if you guys heard the name, but Lilith Grimm.
Yep.
Yeah. Got to finally meet her a couple weeks ago, actually. At a show called Gladiator Championship Wrestling. We actually both won belts in that one. After that, I would have to say my homegirl. We trained together, Morgan Mercy. Really trained. It's going to be a very startle for the third. Amy Camacho for number 3. Olivia Vagos. I know I messed her name up in number 4. And then number 5. Who's the first person cut in my head? I could just name. I can't remember her freaking name right now. What is her name? Oh, Misty Marks.
Very good list.
All right. Well, let's do the top 5 male indie.
Do I want to put myself in that?
Yeah, you're more than welcome to.
This is overall indie superstars. I guess I don't know. I'd rather name people I actually have known and met. So number 1, Exodus Prime. He's been on AEW a few times now. People love his name, but he's been at this for a couple of years. Guy's really, really talented. Exodus Prime, Brian Keith, Justin Taylor.
Yep.
Jace, OC, and then because the fact that I don't think nobody can actually work like me, like I actually get a chance to actually work and match and tell a story myself. That's one thing I have to say. A lot of guys are missing. They're really good at putting exciting matches together, but there's never really a story. I like telling stories.
I completely agree with that. And surprisingly, you're one of the few people that have actually put themselves in a top 5 list. I
I
thought
didn't want
when
to be.
we asked that,
I
I
really
thought
wasn't
when we
going
asked
to.
that question, it would be more, people asking that, but it's not.
I wasn't going to, but when I started breaking people down, it's like, why do I actually like them? And like I said, I don't really know that many people my size or what I can do that work like that. Everybody I name for a reason. Exodus Prime is like the all overall package. He can talk, he's athletic, charismatic, he can do all those special moves, and he can also tell a story. Brian Keith, he's a Texas legend. He's been traveling around. He has a gimmick. He works the hell out of that gimmick. Izzy James, he's one of those spot monkeys, but he's smart about it, so he's really good at doing it. Jace OC, that's my frenemy. Joke around, it's my boy, but he's very original. He has a background in MMA, martial arts, and jiu-jitsu. He puts that to use. Like he doesn't just do moves to be doing, and he does every match differently. How he will attack it like a real fight with his kicks and everything else like that. So I like how he does it. And like I said, there's not many big people who work like me. Most guys my size, I'm 6'1", 300 pounds. All you see is you can't hurt me. I slam you. Go about it. I try to take my time, show personality, show character, give somebody something to work me down because I'm not superhuman. Somebody buckles me in my leg, I'm gonna sell it. And I look at people like Undertaker, Brock Lesnar, like they sell. People think they don't be selling, but they actually sell and make it work. And if I make it sell, because I like selling, it makes the person look dangerous. It makes it look better when I win.
Yep.
I don't like looking like a big monster all the time, undestructible. That's just my personal preference. So yeah, I could probably name other people before me, but I'll just pick them for different reasons.
No, I like that.
Arrogant normally.
Um, so what's the craziest match you've ever been
Shane Taylor.
in?
Early this year in February, this place called Matt Ward Pro. It has that real gritty, grimy feel. Like there's no barricades. You got to come out. You get checked by a doctor. Set up a fight. You have to. The only match starts is by a lockup, and people are really intimate and it was loud. And I felt so much energy. And I'm talking about I sold because he does that form, and then he got me out the ring somehow, hit me with a chair. I'm in the chair. I completely backflipped out the chair, selling the forearm. So I was able to catch him off and going someplace that nobody knew who I was, and then telling the story right. That by the time I had my comeback, I had people change my name. That was to this day one of the craziest moments I had.
Very nice.
Huh?
I said very nice.
Oh, I thought you said I nearly died. I was like that too, but
No.
So what was the best advice your trainer's ever given to you, and do you still live by that advice today?
You never stop learning. And yeah. Honestly, a lot of things that I have taken to heart is stuff that I've heard from different people, but it kind of hits when you hear it a certain time. Take your time, make it mean something. You always can learn from somebody else. What's the purpose of something? Not just to be doing something to be doing it. Make it like what's the purpose, and protect your character by the same time elevating somebody else's. So I would just say you just always learning something every day. What works here may not work somewhere else. Every place I've been to, depending what area, there's a different way of doing it. So I know me doing a match in Arkansas is not going to work in Dallas because it's two different type of things. So you got to take your time and learn what the crowd wants, and you learn something new from somebody else. I know people that's been doing it longer than me that I taught them something. I know people that's still in training that taught me something I didn't know about. There's always something to learn. So always something to learn and take your time. Try the top two things.
So, if you had a dream opponent from any generation, no questions asked, who would it be and why?
2002 to 2000, yeah, late 2001, early 2002. Undertaker, when he did his big evil run, he was pretty much going around as a bully. And reason why is I feel like the way I like my attitude and never stopping, never quit attitude and just going will work perfect to somebody like that. Um, I like selling. I like fighting up. If I have a chance to be, because normally I've never had that chance to have. There's a very few times that somebody's over bigger than me, and I think that'd be a great time. Plus, he's a genius. Undertaker know how to make us. Undertaker back then did so very little, but everything meant so much, and I feel like I would learn a lot from facing him. And his match was always something different when he's during that time frame. So yeah, I would say it, Undertaker 2002 run when he was Big Evil. That's when he won the United States, the Undisputed Championship one last time before he went and then started doing when they did the brand split. Did Ric Flair's he fought Ric Flair the WrestleMania that year, Jeff Hardy in that Atlanta match. May have eliminated him that whole run. Yeah.
Very good choice.
So when you're just chillaxing and you're not working, what are your hobbies that you enjoy doing?
Like drawing and hanging out with my stepson and my stepkids, my 3 daughters and son, and that's pretty much it. Just be a dad and family time, and if I have time, I'll draw something up. I used to be really big in art, and just kind of fell out of it for a while.
So, if you could book a WrestleMania card, let's say 6 matches from any generation, who would be on the card?
All right, so we'll have to do a main event. You always start from the top and work your way down. Ooh, got to be the biggest main event thing. Oh, if I could put aside egos, Stone Cold versus Hulk Hogan probably would have been a bigger main event than Stone Cold. I mean, The Rock and Hulk Hogan, but we know why that didn't work out. So I'm gonna do Stone Cold, Hulk Hogan, Sting, Undertaker. I would still throw Kurt Angle and Shawn Michaels in there because I could watch them go all the time. That's still like one of my favorite WrestleMania matches. Actually, is Shawn Michaels and Kurt Angle. That's 3. A TLC match with the Hardy Boys, the Usos, and even though I'm not the biggest fan of them, I know they'll do a good match. The Young Bucks, the Hardy Boys in their prime, the Usos in their prime, and the Young Bucks in their prime. All 3 of them. That's 4. I will have Trish Stratus versus Sasha Monet, or used to be Mercedes Veno or Sasha Banks. And then opening match, I like gimmick matches. Let's do a battle royale with all the worst gimmicks that's been passed, like El Toro and stuff like that. Just a bad gimmick, 20-man battle royale to start it off, and then go to there.
Damn, that's one hell of a card.
Thanks.
All right, so let's do the favorite cookie or snack question.
Popcorn,
Ooh.
butter, high blood. Yeah, high blood pressure, butter popcorn. When I get a chance, that's my weakness. Cookies, chocolate chip.
Ooh, I like that. If you had a dream tag team partner, who would it be and why?
I don't know. Not much. I have a tag team partner. So that was not a bitch tag team person. So, Mark Henry. Because I think that'd just be fun as beating people up.
Very good choice.
Yeah, Hall of Fame, Mark Henry.
Yeah. All right. So, what advice would you have on an up-and-coming wrestler?
When it comes to training, it's 2 things you gotta look for. One, is it a quality service? Are you gonna learn something from it? Who are they producing? and two, what connections and how they going, what they can do for you. Like look at the stats of the history. So find a quality trainer and then find what these quality trainer can do for you. There's some people that's good trainers, but they can't really get you in the matches. And you got places that have good training and I got a school, I mean, and a promotion. So eventually you could work matches for them, but then you may only be stuck to working for them. Just don't cheat yourself and always keep learning. There's guys that's out here that's getting trained by people that don't know anything, and then they keep training people and they just go get booked, and it makes the profession that we're in seem very fake and diluted more than what people think it is, because people are not wasting, the people are doing it in proper time of training and not getting right training. Don't be afraid of cost. Yes, sometimes it's expensive, but I moved to Texas with literally nothing and found a way to get trained correctly, and then still kept training and paid money to learn somebody else. So do it the right way. Shortcuts are not going to get you where you want to be. And because you got trained by somebody who has a big name, does not guarantee you anything. And I even thought that too, as I got done being trained by Dustin Rose, it was going to open doors for me. Like, no, you still got to hustle, you still got to work, you still got to train. So no shortcuts.
That's some great advice. Um. Uh. So, what was the craziest crowd you wrestled in front of, or was it that same one with the Shane Taylor?
What do you mean by crazy? You mean like as far as energy, excitement, or you mean as far as amount?
Uh, let's go like excitement.
Excitement, the Shane Taylor match. Yeah.
Okay.
But yeah, that was about get 350, maybe a little less. It wasn't that many people. Um, Craziest match experience for a lot of people was I got to go to a martial art expo for one of the companies I work for, so they can advertise their promotion there for the Boys and Girls Club. It was a martial arts expo in Sherman, Texas. There was and there was a boxing ring, and I put on in front of 700. So that was definitely the most interesting one. But as far as just pure excitement and energy, yeah, it's the Shane Taylor one.
Very nice.
So, have you ever wanted to wrestle in Southern California, or have you ever wrestled in Southern California?
No, I have not. I'm not sure if it's Southern California where my friends at, but I do like to go out there. I think it's called East Bay Pro Wrestling. Have you guys heard of that? EBPW. I'm not sure where it's
I
at.
don't believe so.
All right, somewhere in California. I got a friend of mine that's in the Navy, and he's stationed there. He wrestles there when he's not working. But I would like to wrestle Southern. I would like to wrestle everywhere if I can. It's just the traveling and money issue usually what comes up to it.
Well, our third co-host, who's handling some other business, is a manager in Southern California. So, and he's got some connections, so we can definitely give him your name and stuff and see if we can work something out.
I would love to. We can find something to work out. Like I said, the main issue for me is just probably just the traveling and going there. Half the time when I go places, that's just the traveling part that I try to make sure it's covered.
Understandable.
There and work well and get brought back regularly. Yeah, I would love it. I would love to spread my name. I would love to pretty much just travel and do this for as long as I possibly can. That's at my age, me going to WBEs, my dad's pretty slim to none, but I can still make a good living and enjoy traveling around. I got to meet James Storm finally a couple weeks ago at that show I had with Little the Grim. He was telling me how much of a difference it is just traveling instead of trying to get that big day from a national TV show. It's a little more freedom just traveling and paydays and showcase. You get more time with your family. You still get the same love. But then again, he was already on, TNA for a while, so it's a little bit easier for him to do that.
Yeah. So if you could sign with any of the four major promotions, being WWE, Impact, AEW, or New Japan, which one would it be, and who would be your first opponent?
Does this mean I get to be who I want to be, stay who I am as a character, or does you just in general just go there? Because going to WWE means I probably get rid of everything that makes me who I am right now.
No, you can stay as your character. Let's go that way.
Okay. Honestly, I would like to go to WWE because I mean I kind of got raised on that, and hell, when Dustin taught us, it was still kind of WWE system because that's what he was a coach there too. WWE, and I honestly would love to do something with Austin Theory.
Ooh, interesting.
The reason being, he's a great worker, 100% good worker, can do that stuff. But I feel like he's missing something that's people feel flat, and I feel like he has had a right opponent to bring that edge out of him. And I think I can if I had opportunities.
Very nice.
So I think that'd be a good story. I feel like Styles make like real life style makes fight like everybody loves the Stone Cold and the Rock rivalry because of the fact that Stone Cold and the Rock are two complete opposite people, and it just worked that way. Like Shawn Michaels, Undertaker, people they know they were both good, but two different ways of doing. Like I feel like I'm being the complete opposite of what Austin Theory is. He's very clean, stylistic, smooth. I'm very rough, straightforward. I just think it'd be style wise, it would just make it work. Just different ways of going at it.
I would like to see that, actually.
Hopefully one day, let's see how stuff works.
All right. So this is going to be an in the future question. So when you've actually decided to say, I'm done, what is the mark that you, Stonewall, wants to leave on this business?
I don't really have a big mark. I just want to be considered somebody who did things the right way, or somebody could say I made them actually believe or be a fan. That's I just when somebody actually believes what I'm doing, believes in me, and they feel like they feel good or justified for what I've done, good or bad, if I was a heel or face, whatever. That's about it. And I just did things the right way. I have no grand notion of being the greatest ever or anything like that. I just want to help out and help teach what I learned, like everybody else helped taught me what they learned. Just keep it going, paying it forward. Somebody said they learned from Wall. They felt like a good thing in me, and then people accepted it. So yeah, that's about it. Just I did the right thing.
So, top 5 tag teams of all time.
Number 1, Dudley Boys. Basically, just because they won everything everywhere. I gotta put Usos in number 2. That probably made some people mad. Legion of Doom. I can't tell. Arn Anderson. I don't know which one I like better, Arn Ole or Arn and Tully. Can I put both of them as number 4?
Yeah,
Yeah,
that
Arn
works.
Anderson, either Ole or Tully, but either one if both works. So the Andersons or the Brain Busters, and then number 5, Harlem Heat.
Ooh, good choice.
Yeah, I have a very weird list that just went off.
Yeah,
No, but I like it.
that was good. That was a good list. Let's see if he can do even better. How about your top 5 male wrestlers, not indies, male wrestlers of all time?
Are we going to talk about my personal feeling top 5, or as far as who I like as workers top 5?
Nathan?
Or you want the same list?
Let's go. Yeah, you can kind of mix them into the same list if you want to.
All right. Let's go this way. Top 5 people I just enjoy, period. The Rock, Triple H, Kurt Angle, Undertaker, any version, and Eddie Guerrero. Top 5 working wise: Chris Benoit, Arn Anderson, Kurt Angle, Eddie, and old school Stone Cold before I mean, even a little after he hurt his knee, but like before the car accident, quote unquote kayfabe car accident, like when he was 96 to 98 type Stone Cold,
Yep.
the way he used to work. Yeah, I could watch those matches with any of those guys all day.
Okay.
I have
And
two different lists.
no, that's good. And in honor of our co-host, Big Buddy Dodge, top 5 managers of all time.
Number one for me is Jim Cornette. I'm part of the whole cult whole Cornette thing. Bobby Heenan, Paul Heyman. Feel like Paul Price should be number two, but I don't know. It seems like it can either be Paul or Bobby is number two or number three. Um, Theodore Long in any version, even when he was with Doom or when he came back before he became general manager. And then probably surprise you with this one and go old school, but Gary Hart.
Ooh, yes. I absolutely love that list.
Like
And I'll tell
that,
you
that
why. I love the Jim Cornette thing because anybody that climbs up to the top of a scaffolding like he did with the Midnight Express and the Legion of Doom and is willing to take the bump from the scaffolding and blow up both of his knees.
yep. And that man
And then
gave his
Gary Hart, I don't think gets enough respect. So
I don't know, Gary Hart set a lot of standard for a lot of things that people don't realize he set the standard for. Just the whole control and business like way of taking things. Just yeah, I'm a fan.
All right, let's do the females. Top 5 female.
Female wrestlers.
Yep.
Gail Kim. This is not any order, by the way, for this one. Gail Kim. Kong. Jazz. Jacqueline. Old school Jacqueline. Miss Jackie or Miss Texas. And then honestly, Bailey. Everybody says, I mean, obviously you got Charlotte and the whole thing, but a lot of times I feel like she's just an industry plant. Don't get me wrong, very great, very athletic. But Bailey, no matter what you give Bailey a role, she can play it. Charlotte has to play the same person. Bailey could be lovable, Bailey could be funny, Bailey could be a B word, Bailey could be anything and make it work. So that's one thing I say, Bailey, she always gets the low end of the stick for the four horsemen, quote unquote, but she's the most versatile.
very nice.
And the rest of them, I mean, Gail Kim never got the respect she deserved, unfortunately, WWE, but she's definitely was a beast. Miss Jacqueline, she was one of the very few female wrestlers that actually could wrestle back in the day and put a lot of people over, even Trish Stratus and help them get over there. Awesome Kong, I mean, alone, being a big woman, she set the standard for doing that. And Jazz just being hard hitting and making people feel, yeah, it's kind of hard to surpass that. Only one more modern era would be Bailey that I could put down on the list. If women wise, there's a lot of old school. Is that old school
Very
now? Is that old now?
um so who do you think's doing a better job like promoter wise right now? Uh Tony Khan, Vince McMahon, Triple H, because let's be fair, they're kind of doing it together, even though everybody wants to think it's just Triple H.
No, yeah, it's definitely that. That's as far as consistent story and going on building up, I would have to say only because of the bloodline story. Mainly reason, and that's the only reason they have an edge. I will say WWE can be boring, but at least they're kind of consistent. The thing about AEW I don't like is they'll start something and then you won't see it again for another couple of weeks and then be different, and then just I don't. It's hard for me to follow unless you won the elite or something like that. I can't really. It's hard to follow some people's stories or Chris Jericho's. Chris Jericho will just be doing weird stuff nowadays. It reiterated me, but yeah, if I can't follow the story, I can't say you're one of the best promoters. And I know people tell me I just don't get it, and I'll just accept I just don't get it. So yeah, I'll just say Triple H and Vince, even though some stuff happens I don't agree with. At least I can understand what's happening.
I get that.
It can be boring sometimes, but yeah, just boring is better than not knowing what's going on. The way they dropped the ball, Wardlow, Powerhouse Hobbs, Ricky Starks, Hook, so many other people, Darby Allin, like it's hard for me to get behind them.
That's a very good point.
Very good. Go ahead again, Nate.
So, what's your opinion on death matches?
I am not a fan for the overuse of it, but you know, everybody has their poison that they like. I am not rushing. Huh?
Said very good answer.
Yeah. I'm not going to knock anybody's stuff. That's just something that's not for me. Every now and then it's cool. Just if it makes sense, I'm okay with it. I used to watch a lot of Mick Foley, Terry Funk, and stuff like that in their death matches. You know, they made it make sense because they worked. They made it work. It wasn't just the whole highlight of the match was the furniture.
Yeah.
If it gets back to that, then I probably will be okay with it a little more. But yeah, just not a fan personally. But that's not my style.
All right. What was your worst injury?
Surprisingly, I've not had a really bad injury yet. I had a scare one time, and I thought I hyperextended my right leg because somebody botched a body slam on me. But yeah, they messed up a body slam and then landed on my leg wrong. It was very interestingly frustrating. But I've actually been lucky not to have an injury yet. All my injuries so far came from the military way before I started wrestling.
Got ya. If they did a hour-long women's Iron Man match, like akin to like Shawn Michaels and Bret Hart from WrestleMania 12, who would you put in it?
Bailey and AJ Lee.
Ooh, I like that.
Very nice. Wow.
Sorry if I'm answering y'all questions a little too quickly.
Oh no.
No, you're good.
No, you're good. It's okay. So back in the day, they used to have a character named Eugene who was special needs. Do you think a special needs character would work in wrestling today?
No, I wasn't particularly that fond of that back then either. But I have a special needs brother, so kind of wasn't happy about it, but I understood what they were doing, and I could see the positive side of when they had it do with him. But then you gotta have some negative to make the heat happen. But no, it definitely would not be able to fly in today's climate. This is way too PC for everything to do. There's a lot. Anything from like 2010 below, you probably not be able to do today.
All right, Nathan, that opened the door. You might as well just ask now.
Okay.
Right.
Usually wait to do this. No, we usually wait to do this at the end, but in about a year, we're gonna be starting our own promotion called Inclusion Pro Wrestling,
Mm-hmm.
and part of the reason why it's inclusion is both of us are involved in the Special Olympics. I have a disability, so
Okay.
I have cerebral palsy, and Tony's a coach. So I would love to have you in about a year, or when we get it put together, come down to Washington and wrestle for us.
Oh no, if you guys get that set up and then stay in contact with me, and I'll definitely come out there. I would love to do that for the cause.
Oh, cool.
No, yeah. Well, I said the whole thing with you, that was just the way they did some of the stories I didn't like.
I get it. That's I didn't mean that like, oh, how dare you say, you know what I mean? I get
Yeah.
it completely because I agree. So,
But no, I would
No.
love I love that. That's some good calls, and we're very, very proud of you for that. All the Special Olympics. I've been a couple too. I love going there, giving back for stuff like that.
Very cool.
And I'm sure with the promoter we're working with and everything, we'll probably even be able to take care of the travel costs. So
Yep, we can make that happen. So
So if you guys take care of travel costs, I would honestly just do it for free. I would come out there and just do it.
awesome.
Yeah, I just need to get out there.
we'll figure that out, but definitely we will make that happen.
I would love to.
So, okay, Nate, go ahead and ask another question now since you actually got your answer that you wanted. So you can ask a question now.
So, what's let's see, what's the best gimmick match you've ever been involved in? Whether it's a hardcore match or whatnot.
It was it wasn't really a submission match, but I kind of made it that because the gimmick was I wanted this guy to throw the towel in. And I was not satisfied winning any other way but to make his manager say he quits or I quit. And I did everything I can, and he held on. He ended up beating me with I took a page out of Stone Cold Bret Hart Survivor Series. I had him in a chokehold. He used the turnbuckle and pinned me when I choked him out in between. And honestly, that was one of my favorite matches because, like I said, most people have this perception when you're big, you're supposed to do this and do that. That's why I like people like Samoa Joe who could do submissions being that size, and I kind of bring it with a brawler aspect. But the fact that I did all these different submission moves that people wouldn't expect me to be able to do because of my wrestling background and doing things like that, I had fun just being free to do what I wanted to do. So just going for different holds and submissions or using my form to grind his nose in, just try to make him quit. It was fun for me. Sounds sadistic saying that out loud, but but I have fun with that type of match. I like any type of match that's gonna make it seem very realistic. I'm gonna enjoy it.
Very cool. When you talked about throwing in the towel, the first match that flashed into my head was Bret Hart and Bob Backlund from Survivor Series '94.
Yep. No, it was 94 or 93. I know what you're talking about. I cannot remember which year it was. But yeah, that's actually the idea of it. That's what it came from. The whole promos talking about leading up. It was still a regular match, mind you, but just I did enough to make it seem like it just that's what it turned out being. That was the story we was telling that I was trying to make him give up and do everything I can to give up. And I lost the match because I could have won it, but because I wanted him to give up or to throw the towel in, I missed my opportunity to show arrogance. So I enjoyed the story it was told and the whole stipulation I was trying to make myself have.
Very nice.
All right.
That's pretty much my wrestling style. Hit you really hard or try to slam you and choke you out. Simple to the basics.
Sounds like a good style to me.
Yeah, so I'm trying to think about these move sets. I was telling somebody earlier, like I'm probably going to just beat you around here. You come back, I cut you off, and then when I get tired, I slam you here, then we'll go here. But it means more if you take it around. I have done a match where I only slammed somebody one time, and I tell you when they popped on that final slam, 'cause that's what they've been waiting for. It was amazing. And I'm trying to think of realistically, if somebody slams you like 8 times, no matter on the mat on the ground, you're not going to easily come back and fight back. That's pretty much going to be one or two slams is pretty much it in real life. So I try to make it realistic like that. Hits, clubs, things like that, pushing you off, tossing you, that's one thing. But if I slam you really hard, that should be it.
Absolutely.
In normal real life.
Yeah.
So I like to merge I realize if you make it seem real, people will accept it and understand. Like with headlocks, it's a really big peeve of mine that people do not work headlocks. It's like people forgot how it feels to have a headlock in. It's not easy to get out. And the crowd recognizes that if you work a headlock and they make them fight for it, they get more into it versus just having a headlock. They go next to the next hold.
I completely agree.
So do I. Okay, so where can we find you on social media?
Stonewall Remson, anything. If you Google Stonewall Remson, you'll see my stuff come up. TikTok, not that big on TikTok, but I got a few TikToks. Instagram, Facebook, YouTube. Yeah, you just Google Stonewall Remson, one word or separate, doesn't matter. You'll find me.
Very nice. All right, Nate.
So I'm gonna do one more top 5 question, which is top 5 commentary teams of all time.
Oh Lord, Lordy. Only reason I'm saying Lord, because I'm very limited with this one. So number one is the old school classic from where I came up is JR and the King. Number 2, Michael Cole, Taz. Number 3, I like Kevin Kelly. I forget who he announces with in New Japan.
Alex Conlon.
That could be it. I feel bad. Like I said, I'm bad with these names. Defy Wrestling. They had 2 announcers that I like in Defy Wrestling. I did not remember their names. And then lastly, by himself, Joey Styles.
Yes.
Wow. Okay. I'm just gonna go ahead and do the shameless plug now, and then you can ask the final question, Nathan.
Okay.
All right. So now, since we've got some questions out of the way and we're nearly done with our interview time, ladies and gentlemen, this is a personal testimonial for our co-host, Big Money Dodge. He's a great man. He's a great manager. He wants to start his own wrestling facility. He needs your help. He needs trainees. He's going to do this online to start with, and yes, everybody's tired of doing the online thing, but, let's be real. We did it during COVID. We're just barely starting to come out of COVID. We still need the online thing. And it helps to do the online until he gets a ring to teach you guys in. So this man's passion is actually trying to be a training facility. And without this training facility, Nathan's dream of Inclusion Pro Wrestling is put on hold because the Big Money Compound is the exclusive home of Inclusion Pro Wrestling. So, ladies and gentlemen, $25 a session, $150 a month. Come learn from some of the best. His first trainer is a 20-plus year veteran who has beaten and wrestled WWE Hall of Famer. He's beat him twice, Rey Mysterio Jr. And the man that beat Rey Mysterio Jr. twice is none other than SoCal Crazy. He will be your first trainer. SoCal Crazy will be your first trainer in that class. $25 a month, or $25 a session, $150 a month. Follow Big Money Dodge on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, Twitch. Big Money Compound, same. His partner, business partner, Mr. Boom Shasta, at Boom Shasta on Facebook, Twitch, Facebook and Instagram, unless you know something different, Nathan.
Nope.
And of course, great cause, Big Money Compound coming soon, hopefully, and the future home of Inclusion Pro Wrestling.
Right on.
And then I'd also like to thank our other 2 sponsors, the CARE program, which stands for Community Action Reaching Everybody. And to get hold of the lady that's in charge of that, you can get a hold of Becky Bernhardt. And then Bruce Nichols Painting for all your painting, pressure washing, and lead removal needs. And you can find him on Angie's.
Go ahead and ask one more or 2 more questions, Nathan. We've got time.
I'll ask one more, and that's what's your future goals in wrestling?
Such is similar to yours. I want to explore my brand and go out further, but honestly, the end goal is to have my own wrestling school and hopefully promotion someone down the line. But I like training people and helping, so I want to gain more experience and have more to offer when I be ready for it.
Very nice.
All righty. Well, with that being said, we'd like to thank our guest, Stonewall Remson, today for Big Money Dodge. For myself, hey, Nathan, help control the pet population. Go have yourself spaded or neutered.
I'll get right on that.
Good night, everybody.
Good night.
Thank you all for having me.
Thank you very